the person that hang around with a beautiful, confident woman, they have to be confident in their own.
Yep.
Right.
Yep, they have to feel. The person you hang out with, your bestie, your best friend, they have to feel the way you feel. So if a guy speaks to them or speaks to you when y'all out or somewhere, y'all might be partying or going to a club or going anywhere. Y'all could be, any hot place, where guys, you could, talk to them, you meet up, hook up, whatever you want to call it, get to know them. Anywhere, either way, wherever you go, the person you hang out with has a lot to do with how much play y'all get, has a lot to do with who get talked to. Like, because sometimes they ain't going to be feeling you, or sometimes they might not be feeling.
Up when you're talking.
Sometimes they ain't going to be feeling you, or sometimes they ain't going to be feeling her, or But whoever you hang out with, you got to be somebody who ain't trip over some guy trying to holler at you, and like ruin it.
You ever had a personal experience where that happened, where you was with a friend, out with a friend at a club or dinner or somewhere, and then a guy approached, and that he might approach you first, and then your friend might say...
See, no, I never had that, because a lot of women have been like, my mom wouldn't let me go places, first of all. And then when she wouldn't let me go certain places when I was a lot younger, she was like, yeah, I didn't get to have a lot of those experiences. But when me and my cousins, my female cousins, got older, I wasn't invited because they was afraid that I might get more play than them, or we wasn't really close.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we went out like one time, and and they might want to hang out with the guy, pick up a guy or something. It's stuff like that. You don't, and then you a goody two shoes. You might want to go home early or something. It's all types of reasons why people don't hang out with.
Right, but I don't think
people.
that have anything to do with colorism now. As far as the part where you might not just have things in common.
Do you ever feel like it has something to do with you particular, as far as your complexion, or what you look like, what somewhat of your complexion? Because that's somewhat of what Tandy Newton and other people have been talking about lately and trending.
Yeah, a little bit.
The divide between black people and black women.
Well, it's always been there since slavery, because of the divide in the black race. But we trying to get past it now. People trying to acknowledge certain things that they wasn't acknowledging, and they trying to bridge the gap between black people in their community. In the community of black people, they trying to bridge the gap between between the darker skinned black women and the lighter skinned black women, and the darker skinned black men and the lighter skinned black men. People trying to change and not have the the ideas that they used to have. When it all boils down to it, though, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and what you like is basically what you like. If you find somebody attractive, I mean, everybody got their own opinion that, whether it's light skin or dark skin, they got their own opinion about what they like. Right. Personality wise and physically, your outer appearance. So whoever you pick, or whoever you find attractive, usually is just how you feel anyway.
Why you won't look up when you're talking?
I don't know.
Is you shy?
I'm shy.
What you shy about?
I don't know.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but I always be shy.
You always been shy?
Yeah.
And you don't have anything to be shy about, because you're a very beautiful young woman.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
No, and you have beauty from the inside too.
Yes.
Oh,
I think
that's
a lot
so
of
sweet.
people ignores the inside of a person, their spirit. And
Yeah,
their
that is
personality,
true.
because they're too busy focusing on the outward appearance.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother always used to tell us, you can be the most beautiful thing on the outside and then have an ugly spirit, and vice versa,
Mm-hmm.
But like I agree with you, Andy. I think people have their own ideas of what attracts them,
Yeah.
and some people might prefer a darker skinned person, male or female. And then some people may prefer a lighter skin.
Mm-hmm.
What I do think, like you said, is that we as a community, as a black race, we have to get past these divides that have been forced upon us.
That's
really.
true. That's true.
You know,
Well, sometimes I have to admit, sometimes I don't know whether it was because of race, or I mean, not race, but I don't know whether it was because of my outer appearance. But you know, sometimes, but I've experienced a little bit of what Tandy Newton was. Well, not Tandy Newton, but I have experienced a little bit of what they was talking about, like not because of my complexion or what I look like, but more or less because of it. Just seeing somebody off rip and being jealous. Like, have you ever just noticed somebody off rip and just felt like why, or felt like you know, it's just human nature, more or less. You feel like they got something that you don't have or something, and I'm speaking from probably their perspective, not my own perspective, because I've never really been that type of person to acknowledge somebody and to look at somebody and just say, oh, this person is aggravate me, or I don't like it because of this. But more or less on the other part of on their part, I've been treated like I went to buy some shoes and she was upset and angry and didn't want to wait on me over the shoes. Yeah, she was upset and angry and didn't want to wait on me because of the shoe. And then they said, well, they don't have the shoe in your size or something like that. And the shoes were so, you know me, I'm saucy. I like cute high heel boots, high heel shoes, you know, cute little, you know.
Yeah, I love
like
you love beautiful things, sexy.
Yeah, little sexy shoes and stuff. I love boots and stuff. Boots is like my thing. So, you know, I went to get some boots and she was like, oh, they don't have them in your size or something. And, you know, I go to somebody else and they have them, and, you know, I get another shoe person and then, you know, clerk or whatever they is. And then they have them in my size. They found my size or something. You know, that type of stuff. Right. But, you know, it's all different types of things that people, you know, do, or they won't do your hair as pretty, or they won't lay your lashes, or they won't lay your eyebrows as hard as they lay somebody else's or something. Mm-hmm. You know, that type of stuff. You know,
right. And that's important.
When I was
that's very
young woman, I remember going through those.
And it's not that they don't know how to. You know, you look and say, oh, you know, that this person got this, this person just got their lashes laid. You know, they didn't hook their shit up so bad to it was just like, damn, her face pretty, you know. Right. Her face pretty, you know, that's what they looking like. And then you know, from my perspective, and then you go get them done and they look like their face just okay. You just gotta okay something. And that's cute. The okay something is cute, but you be wanting to look, you like, I want, give me my money's worth, you know. Exactly. I want my money's worth. I want to look, I want the sexy stuff, you know, the sexy pretty, you know, not just the okay something, but just beautiful, but it's not, you know, it's not quite as crispy. Right. And that's what I could say. But I don't know whether it's a colorism thing, but you know, it could be, I don't know. But I've been there before.
I think it has something to do with it, low key. Of course, they're not going to just come out and say, see, this is how colorism works, too. So,
thank you. It's insidious, like regular racism, when it comes to, you know, like maybe white, black, or Indian, black, or Chinese, you know, of other races that don't like, you know, black people. But the colorism is very insidious and undercover somewhat like that. Because you never really know why you may be getting treated a certain way. Or you ask for the same service and they don't give it to you like you just said. And then somebody else come in there looking a different way. And then they say, oh, I'm going to hook you up.
Right. And you know, I didn't talk, but I think every woman have really experienced that, is whether, you know, color don't matter. Because I go in and get my nails done and, you know, the little Chinese people, they good. I don't mean, I'm not racist, I'm not saying that. But, you know, I didn't watch them they didn't scream, they didn't yell at people, and I didn't did it too. Over not having fixing my nails the right way, or not doing not doing the nails the right way. So it wasn't a race thing. It wasn't it wasn't like I don't want to lay her nails the right way. So I think people experience things. I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
But I know when I go in there, I be wanting the hot little nails, the cute little nails, and I get the person who I think is the sauciest with their designs, and they just hook my stuff up. So I just be,
Well, the thing about Cardi B and this YouTube woman, Tasha K. I don't know if you knew about it because, you've been over your dance house, but there was another big thing about that kind of went viral too, about Cardi B suing this YouTuber because the YouTuber lady said that, all these disparaging things about her. About her being like having herpes and she's a bad person because she's a stripper and, so Cardi B ended up suing her for basically like trying to destroy her character, and she won. So there was another big blow up on, that people was talking about, and then they was talking about is this colorism on Tasha K's part because, Cardi B is a, light skinned, I guess she's a black woman. I don't know.
And what did the reporter or the YouTuber look like?
She's a cute, dark-skinned woman with short hair.
Oh, okay. So I don't know, but I know the truth. I know that smearing somebody's name is against the law. I mean, you can't smear anybody's name. So it might have just been a law thing because and you don't want the bad publicity. But her being a star. They don't want the bad publicity.
Well, that's what she
But the thing is that you can't just smear somebody's name and talk
Right,
about
she
them.
smeared
well, she smeared her name basically by saying that
if she sued, then
she made a personal comment about the woman that she had no knowledge of, which in legal, I guess, terms would mean smearing.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Because I'm into like a lot of law and stuff. I'm into law, like so. By me being into law, I'm a stickler for certain things as far as
Like defamation and
smearing people's names and
especially if they're a big person whose name.
Right, only because
that's how they make their living.
terms.
Right.
It's terms. But
it's not just the terms.
This is a
$60,000
$60,000 question. Do you personally think that she came for her and tried to smear her name like that because of the colorism, because of her being a dark-skinned YouTube lady? And
it could have been because of colorism, race, because I don't know whether they're considered. I don't think Cardi B, like I heard her in an interview, and I don't think she considers herself quite black or something. Like, I'm not sure because she's like Latino and Hispanic. I don't know whether she's Hispanic or something, or that's why she got the what's that song she made? Motorsport, but she was speaking in the Hispanic language. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, I think she's black and Hispanic or something. Or
let me speak to that.
So I don't know. It might be. She might have did it because of that for real.
It is black Latinas.
Yeah.
It is black women that are Hispanic.
Is she Cuban? She might be Cuban. She might be
that
Cuban.
Would be basically the same thing, Hispanic.
Right.
Because they mix with the Spanish people from Spain. They came over here and colonized places.
But I noticed, I noticed the movement with Rosario Dawson. With Rosario Dawson and what's that woman's name? Zoe Saldana. They do want to be recognized. The black Latino they want to be recognized. That's one thing that they were having issues with in their race, wanting to be recognized as black Latino and not just a black woman. That was one of the issues that they had. That was a while back though.
Yeah.
They don't want to be considered just
part of the discussion
Black.
that we heard too about Tammy Newton was that she is from a dark-skinned African heritage mother
Mhm.
and a white father.
Mhm.
And I did hear a YouTuber woman, you know, I can't think of her name,
She's black.
but she said,
See her here?
she said that biracial women is not black.
Yeah,
So
see,
what
it's
do
a
you
lot
think
of
about
it's a
that?
lot of rumors going around. Not rumors, but it's a lot of talk going around saying where now they're trying to say
So she black.
that if you're mixed or biracial, you're not considered a black person, or you're
Right.
not considered a black woman or an African or an African American. You know, and that's not true. Unfortunately, that's not true. Just like just like
Okay, she's still
the slaves came from the, you know, when they
she's
came
black.
from on the boat, when they
Right.
came on the boat and stuff, they abolished slavery. But when they came on the boat, they were black people. And when we came over here, we mixed through time. We mixed with all different types of people. We mixed with Asians, we mixed with black, we mixed with white, we mixed with French, Hispanic, and people, you know, we mixed with people all over in different regions, you know, through time, you know, the race has really evolved, and it's really a lot of different mixtures between white Hispanics and white Asians and Indian Asians. Everybody is mixed up now, you know. Now it's just a matter of who you want to talk to or who you want to get to know. You know,
Who you
it's
want to
open.
identify yourself.
Who you want to identify yourself as.
Right.
Who you identify yourself with more. Like if you have a Asian father and a black mother, but some people don't consider themselves Asian. You know, they consider themselves. I got a black mother. I've been around my black mother for years. You know, and you know, I adopted more of the black customs. I mean, culture, customs and culture more than the Asian culture, and vice versa. You know, people more like, well, I'm gonna acknowledge it. You know, I'm Asian. You know, I'm Asian. I'm black and Asian, or I just consider myself Asian because my family, we do all the Asian stuff. We adopt it. It depends on religion too, because if you're a black woman and you marry an Asian guy, and he serves Buddha, and you serve Jesus or Christ or whoever, and you adapt to his Buddha, then you're adapting to his custom, his culture. You know, so you know, basically, the culture is Asian. You know, so if your kid is going to be more Asian, like more identifying with them than black culture.
So let me ask you this: do you think anybody of any color have right to determine and tell another human being what
And then some people
what
who
their
mix-
race is, and whether they should consider themselves black or white? Do you think anybody have a right to tell another human being what their ethnicity is or what their race is?
No, they don't. You know, they don't have the right.
Okay.
They can't really tell anybody what their race is. You know, oh, you're this. You know, I mean, maybe doctors, you know, because they know genetics and stuff like that. They'll say, well, you know, you have this in you, or they'll say, you know, well, you have more of this in you. You know, they'll go down to the chart and they'll just chart it and just say this, and that, or this and this, you know, and that's what you are, you know, whether you know, want to be or not, you know, technically you're this, you know. But what I was focused on is that basically through genetics they can say, you know, doctors, they know all of that. See, because they know traits, they document everything. They document things. So they know you have more of these traits in you, or you have more of these traits. Like Henry Louis Gates, he'll go down to a science and tell you who you are, you know? Who your history was, your ancestors, where you come from. And that's basically through history and records, that's It's who you are.
Right.
So when we were in
That's the
school,
truth.
I mean, what do you want?
When me and my team was in school at Wayne State University, we took up many classes dealing with anthropology, sociology, and all of these studies that determine cultures and what people are. Okay, genetically, in the blood, like you just said, they can go down a list and test their blood and say, well, you 35% European, Irish, or you're 55% African from the Congo and Africa.
Mm-hmm.
But we also have to look at is what you were just saying. What is people socialized to be? You can have all these things in you as far as different races that make up your genetics, but who are you, like you just said, about who was you raised to be?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If you raised by a
Because sometimes
black-
you
a
don't know
black
your
mother,
culture. Black people over
if you raised
here.
by a black mother or a black father, or you in the black community, you're going to be socialized to being a black person.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna, and that's the culture that you adapt to.
Yeah.
So, I feel like, how can somebody tell somebody because they think they biracial or they light skinned that they are not really black?
Right.
We can't tell.
You can't really
somebody
tell
that.
nobody that,
Mhm.
You can't really tell anybody that. You are basically who
So
you
what
are.
do you think the solution to colorism?
I think people just need to allow people to be themselves, Because when you think about it, we have plenty of diversity, What I mean by that is that there's tons of diversity, which means there's all different types of people who've been raised all different types of ways and stuff. They've had more this, less that, this and that, And everybody is unique in their own way, whether they even be raised. So, sometimes you can be raised a certain way, and then, your mother passes away, or you don't want to do that, or you distance yourself away from your family and turn into a total different person,
Right.
So it's just a matter. Let people be themselves,
Right.
Let people
that's a
be
good
who they
point,
are.
too.
And if they claim that they are something more than that or other than what they are, or but I have this and they identify with it, allow them to. Allow them to. Allow them
And
to
I
feel
agree
that
with
way.
that too. However,
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
what I don't agree with though is
Because
the,
it could be, people. It could be how people treat them or what they feel, or And then when I go back to it, maybe it is a color thing, because you don't, sometimes people don't feel like they're
and that's the main
treated
thing what you
correctly,
just said. The being
the reason why
treated.
they identify with something else more,
Okay.
Right. So you can't really feel as though, like, okay, it started with Tandy Newton saying that she got roles in movies because she was a biracial, light-skinned black woman,
Well,
and she felt like people, I guess who she had talked to or what she had picked up from other black actresses, she was made to feel from her point of view that she felt guilty because they made her feel guilty about taking certain roles in movies that they thought she was getting this privilege to play this role because, not
it's
because
too
of
bad.
her being a great actress, but because of her being a biracial, light-skinned black woman.
it's too bad, because if they picked her, they know what they're looking for. They know the criteria that you have to have for the role, And if they don't have that criteria, then they won't pick them. So whoever they picked is who they want, to portray this role. That's who they felt like was better. Because whether they, and I know they talk about I don't mean to, go up under the, the industry, talk about the little dirty, but, the casting couch is there, but, it's a matter of who you want. I mean, I'm not saying that anybody else, what I'm trying to say is this. What I'm trying to say, I don't want to get nobody's signals mixed up. What I'm trying to say is that who they pick is who they are looking for. You know, if they pick you for a role, then that's who they want. If they wanted somebody else to play that role, they would have played that role.
Mm-hmm. So the person who gets the role should not feel guilty or apologize.
They shouldn't feel guilty or apologize for it.
And I totally agree, because let me say this too.
Because obviously they fought hard over the role, or they followed all the
but I want to speak to that
rules
too.
of
I want to
getting the role. You know,
I want to speak to the fact of what you just said, that whoever they chose for the role obviously is more fitted for that individual. And the reason why I'm saying that is because when you're getting in other words, everybody, when they go to a calling or a casting call or whatever they call them, auditions, everybody is going there with the insight that they are trying to achieve getting this role.
Right.
Okay? So why would you get mad and think that it's a dark or a color thing? Because, hold it, because somebody gets a role that everybody is trying out
I do
for.
want to say something. I do want to bring out one other aspect, though, because I do want to bring out one other aspect. There is a certain level of what is it? What I wouldn't say. What is it? Crony. What crony is? Do I want to say that? I wouldn't say that. I would say a. I don't want to say, okay, I'll just do the dirty and say cronyism, or at least that's what they call it when they feel like, well, this is my girl, you know, this is my friend, you know, off record, you know.
Exactly.
And I know you want the job. You know.
And this
you want the job,
and I'm glad you bring it
and
in
you
out,
might even
'cause I
do
wanna
a good
say
job.
something about
But this
that.
is my friend, and,
Yes.
and if she can't do the job, they feel like, well, I'll show her how to do it.
Because
You
let
know?
me say this too, that they failed to mention when a lot of them were speaking.
Because I've gotten did like that before.
Okay.
Like,
But-
I've been in line for certain things, and people have said, well, you know, you cool, but you don't nobody really know you or something, you know. So by you not knowing, they think that you not knowing people, or you being kind of a newcomer, is what they say, then you won't get to play until we've gotten to know you or who you are. And who you know plays a lot on what the role is.
But let me say
get.
something to that because I have to get this out, because this was important. It goes back to the role that Whoopi Goldberg played a role with Ted Danson in a movie with Will Smith. And it was a lot of, and it called for a biracial girl. But they chose Nia Long instead of it was another biracial woman that was up for that same part.
Right.
And Whoopi used her influence and power to say, no, we're not going to hire this person. We're going to hire Nia Long. Even though Nia Long is not a biracial woman, clearly. Right. But nobody said anything. People went and they enjoyed the movie, and that was the end of it.
Right. Can I just say something? I just want to say something. I love Nia Long. I love Nia Long.
I'm going to bring this up too. Hold on one second, Angie. Because the going back to what some of the women who responded to Tandy Newton and what she said, some of the YouTubers, they said about, dark, light-skinned women or whoever actresses take, or even, dark-skinned males or light-skinned males taking roles that they say should have been for somebody else. Like Zoe Saldana, they was really mad at her for playing Nina Simone, a black famous, beautiful singer and stuff, very talented. So she took a lot of flack for that. But then they failed to mention that Aretha Franklin was played by an African Cynthia Erivo that didn't look anything like her. And Jennifer Hudson played Aretha too, and she's a darker woman when it compares to Aretha. And then we had going all the way back to Diana Ross when she played Billie Holiday.
Billie Holiday.
She was a very dark woman, and black woman, and Billie Holiday is a very pale, light-skinned black woman. And so then you had...
I like that, what you brought out, yeah.
And then you had Spike Lee having Denzel to portray Malcolm X. And everybody know, if they haven't seen him, that Malcolm X is was a very light-skinned black man. So nobody had an issue with a dark man like Denzel playing Malcolm X. So I wanted the question I'm gonna put to you and everybody that's in this discussion.
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
let me piggyback off of that too.
Okay.
Don't forget about Chadwick
Boseman.
Yes. He played Thurgood Marshall.
Thurgood Marshall, and if everybody should know that he was a very pale, light-skinned black man as well. So, but I don't see the lighter-skinned actresses coming for them and saying, or actors saying, oh, Denzel shouldn't have played Malcolm because he don't look nothing like Malcolm, or Diana Ross shouldn't have not have played Billie Holiday because Billie Holiday was so pale they used to make her put on darker makeup so to please the white people. So why do we have this real strong thing about darker skinned actresses getting angry about lighter skinned black or biracial women playing darker women or darker women in roles? So what do you think about that?
Wow.
Or do you have an opinion on it?
I feel like black women shouldn't feel that way about who gets a role. I feel like black people shouldn't have that type of attitude with each other. I feel like we need to bridge the gap. I feel like we don't need to divide any longer. What do I feel? Let's see. What do I feel? Well, I feel like black... Should I say that? No. Because I want to be exact.
Might be bringing doubt. But go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
still want to hear what you had to say, whether it's recorded or not. What you was finna say about Africans, not thinking about
Africans don't consider themselves like the black people over in America. They don't consider us African, even though we were brought from that region to over here. Our ancestors is what they say was black, or not black, African.
Right.
We are not African, is what they say. We're African American, which means we have something else with us, which in America, basically, it's all different types of people. So, they don't consider us that. They see us and say, some of them see us and even say white woman or white girl.
Yes.
And the white and Caucasian people get offended over it, because we're not, we're not white. We're not Caucasian. We might have ancestors that are, or we might have a father, that's Caucasian, or a black, or a African American, black woman, or but they don't consider us white, just absolutely Caucasian. They consider us biracial. They consider black people biracial when they're like that, And
in other words, we're not pure.
Right.
We're not pure African like them, so therefore then
we're
you're
not
to
pure
them.
Right.
Caucasian or Asian or Hispanic
being
or
accepted for being black or being white. Do you ever feel as though?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Because we have a mixture of both, And the thing is that we're not purely Caucasian. We're not purely Caucasian, Even though we have that in us. And we're not purely African, or African American, So, we're not going to feel exactly like both of them,
Right.
Because
So we don't, biracial
like
people
Barack
don't
when
feel
he said
fit
that
in,
he was calling himself a mutt.
Yeah, he called himself a mutt.
Because
This is really
because you'll be around black people, you'll be around a black girl or black people, and you'll feel certain. You may have certain tendencies that come out, traits that come out from the other side, which is Caucasian, and they'll look and say, "Oh, yeah, yeah, that white girl is coming out in you right now,"
Mm-hmm.
and then they'll look and say, "Okay, I still like you, we cool, but but you're not."
Yeah, but
You're not pure us,
you're not really like that,
But you cool or something,
but cool, but you're not really like totally like one of us.
Because because a purely black girl would have said yada 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 yada, this and this and that, and you just said yada 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 yada, but a purely black girl would have said that,
Mm-hmm.
and then a purely in the same and vice versa with Caucasians. A purely white girl would have just said yada 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 yada, this and that, and you say yada yada yada, and
they know automatically that you're not really Caucasian, because we've been told that we're Caucasian, and it's like, I know you're Caucasian,
right?
I never said you weren't Caucasian,
exactly.
But if I have a mother,
so there is going to be some.
1 second.
But
Let me hear
I
what she
have
has
a
to
mother
say.
who may not have been, all the way white herself, but she was raised in a certain way that she had a white parent, then she's going to have some white tendencies as far as how she think, her interactions, how she raised us, as her family. So at some point, however you was raised and whoever you was raised by, that's going to come out.
Mm-hmm.
And people is going to recognize that. And you can even identify, when I speak for myself, I can even identify that I don't act all the way like, and I don't want to be stereotypical about how black people act, but it is certain ways that black people have about them that is passed down culturally from generation to generation. And we might not always have that same thing because our mother was of a different mixture of race, and she was influenced by her white father to a certain extent and where she came from. So those things is put in us as we was being raised. So when we go around other people, that's, say for instance, like you just said, all black people, they always ask this question: where are you guys from? Why do you speak the way you speak? Why do you why do you think the way you think? Why you don't indulge in this? Why you don't indulge in that? And then if you go around all white people, then they just automatically know you're not white because they look at your skin tone. But it's not even just about that. Sometimes they will seem like they can identify with you more because in their mind you may not be just like what they think a black person is, or how they think a black person carry themselves. Like I've been told, like the way certain clothes I wear, oh, you conservative. And I'm like, well, if you want to call it conservative, but I wear clothes I think that's appropriate to me and my age, and and what I think it look good, look good on me. I'm not flashy, and I'm not trying to say black women is flashy, but some black women is a little more flamboyant in how they dress, and they show, more their figures, in my opinion, sometimes, especially in this day and age, and it could just be more of a generational thing, more so than an African American thing, because, but I have had that pointed out to me, I'm not just making this up. People have actually said these things to me, about, oh, you different, or you a nerd, or you don't fit in with us, or, you don't speak the way we speak, totally. And so, and like you said, Angie, sometimes they be like, oh, okay, it's cool though. But in some cases, it's not cool because they don't really be your friend. Like I don't want to hang out with you because you're not, you're not down for what we do, or how we act. So, I often have felt like I watched my mother. She was isolated. Your grandmother, she was very isolated. Her peers didn't have much to do with her because she lived in a black community, and she reached out to the ladies in the neighborhood. And they would be, polite, but they never really just embraced her as
She was
being
never really
my
included.
friend, you know,
Yeah.
this is my friend, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And if I have a little get together or hang out with, you know, it's like, no, we're not inviting Miss Martin because she don't really fit in with us, you know. And then my mother feels sad about it and finally just say, well, wasn't I invited to the little party, you know? Oh, but we was drinking and we know you don't drink.
Right.
You know, it was put on something else, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to get back with you guys. This is Lisa's Limitless Life, and we are having a conversation about colorism. You're welcome to join in if or leave a comment. But I'm going to put my camera on charger, and we're going to resume having this conversation. So I'll see you guys in a minute.
See you.
Hello there. I'm Lisa's Limitless Life. And I'm just finna post a video. That was my daughter, Angelisa. And she was just giving her take on a video. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna post a video. And if you guys have anything, again, that you would like to say about the video or about colorism, the topic that we're talking about, then just drop me a comment. So see you later, and I hope you like the video. Peace.